Hi guys, and welcome to another video. This is the best luxury decisions I've ever made. So what are they? What pieces have been the most amazing choices? Are they good investments? Are some of them impulses? Are they all savvy, thought through choices? Well, watch and we'll find out. But wait till later when I'm going to tell you the best decision that I made that led to my journey with the most luxurious and wonderful fashion house of them all. So let's get going. Okay, so this could be a hugely long video if I told you every single thing that I've bought in the luxury world that I've loved and has been a huge success. So I'm not going to do that today. I did a video which I will link up here or here, up here, in which I told you my luxury regrets. And to be fair, there are a few, but they are few and far between. The majority of things that I have bought over the years, or that I've chosen over the years, far outweigh the regrets. So I'm not going to give you a full rundown of everything, otherwise we would be here all year. So I've picked out a few things. So the first item I'm going to talk about is this, and this is my latest purchase, which actually is a little while ago now because I've been very good and I haven't been buying anything. I've been saving up, sort of. So this is a Petit Malle, and I've talked about this in a few videos. I bought this in Paris in the summer, and this was my birthday present. And I don't know what it is about this bag, I just absolutely love it. And for the minute I got my hands on it, I'd seen them before in the flesh, but I'd never actually touched one. I'd seen them on a shelf, or I'd seen them obviously on YouTube. And I did wonder what all the fuss was about with them at the beginning, because they are super expensive. But I do not regret this at all. I absolutely adore it. I think the craftsmanship on it, and I just love it. I just want to use it all the time, and I think because of the black, I think it really makes this very, very edgy, and I just think it goes with so many things. So yeah, I've used this quite a lot in the evening, although you don't have to. It fits nothing in it. I don't care. I absolutely adore it. Yeah, it's one of those things, as soon as I bought it, well, as soon as I got my hands on it in the store, it was coming home with me, and just love it. So that's the first one. By the way, if you are thinking of buying one and you're thinking, and the thing that's stopping you is the price, just do it. You won't regret it. I just absolutely adore this. Do it. Okay, so another best decision that I have ever made is buying this. This, again, I've talked about in other videos. This is the Chanel 19 in the small size in the denim. And it's got the ruthenium, well, it's got all three metals, and as the Chanel 19s do. So this one has got mainly silver, which I think looks beautiful with the denim, and then obviously it goes into the gold, and the aged gold through the chain. And I bought this on impulse. I bought this in Paris. I had just picked up less than a week before, I think it was like 3 days before we set off to Paris, in which I had my little list of things I was wanting to buy while we were there. And about 3 days before, I got the call from Hermes that my wish had been granted and my Birkin 25 was available. The timing of it could not have been, I'm not going to complain, because of course it was amazing, but it meant I had to find the money for that, which meant I had zero money for Paris. But I ended up bringing this home with me. So that's so I bought 2 bags within about 3 or 4 days of each other, and I've never done that before. Never, ever, ever. It's always been a decent gap between each bag, because I just can't afford to do it. And I shouldn't really have bought this one, but I've told the story before. One of the sales associates was walking from the stockroom with this in his hand, and I followed him and was thinking, where's that going? And he put it back on the shelf, and I just grabbed it, and I never let it go after that, and that was it. And I've used this so much, and much as my beautiful trendy, which was, and this just shows you actually, this is a very good case in point. complete and utter impulse buy. Thought through, cannot even tell you how many years I waited for that bag, to save up for it, to find a colour that it came out in, to be the perfect colour for me. I didn't want one of the bright colours, I didn't want black, I wanted a muted colour. Every single season there seemed to be really bright colours, and yeah, they weren't what I wanted, and then this one appeared, so I must have waited patiently, for me, for about 4 years for that trendy, and this was on impulse. And which have I used the most? And which do I love more? Sorry, I know if Dale and Connor are watching this, you will laugh your heads off. But I still love that bag. I just still love it. It's just so delicate and it's quite formal. So I think this is so much easier. It's slouchier. I think it's just, for me, when you're using a shoulder bag, they just need to be comfortable and not boxy. And I think that's where I struggle a little bit with that one, but I love it and I'll never let it go. But this, oh yes, this was on impulse. Shouldn't have bought it. So glad I did. Will never ever let it go anywhere. I actually would have another Chanel 19, maybe in one of the leathers at some point in the future, because I love the style of this so much. It's so easy to wear. Pocket on the back, everything. Oh, just, yeah, I could go on about it all day, but I won't. Amazing decision. I did not regret this for a second. Oh, love it, love it. The next one, now if you saw my last video, which was the best travel bags, or how I choose the bags I'm going to travel with, I have just come back from Dubai. I had the most amazing time, and if you did see that video, I'll link it up here, you will see that I decided I was taking this one as my bag for on the plane. So the travel bag, and also my beach bag, and also a day bag when we're there, and I've used this so much. So this, I can categorically tell you, it has been shoved under seats, it has been in the overhead locker, because I was made to do that at one point and I was very upset about it, but it's absolutely perfect. It's been on the beach, it's been by the pool, it's been on the grass, literally not a thing on it. I need to stop worrying about it and just use it because it's incredible. It's so comfortable. Shoulder strap for when it gets heavy. They're very comfortable top handles. I cannot rave about this enough. And this was one I did think through. I wanted it since the minute it came out. I wanted it, but I wanted it in this combination. And I waited and waited until I could find one, because they were very, very hard to find. And one day I wandered into Chanel in Manchester in Selfridges, and I said, I don't suppose you have any Deauvilles? And she came out with this, and I was just like, right, wrap it up, wrap it up. So this was a thought through one. I knew I'd love it. I knew from the minute I saw it that I would love it and I would use it, and I have. So this isn't an impulse purchase. That's worked out amazingly. And this has stopped me buying so many other totes, because now I just think I've got this in the Neverfull, which I'm not going to mention in this video because I've mentioned it in virtually every video that I do. That's an incredible decision. Love it, use it all the time. That is my gym bag, etc. I use it every day. It's a great work bag. But between this and the Neverfull, they're perfect, absolutely perfect, worth every penny. Love it. One of the best decisions I've ever made. Okay, so let's talk about the decision I made that led me to my journey that began maybe 4 years ago. I think it's about 4 years ago, and that led me to the collection I now have, and we're talking obviously Hermes. So the decision I made was to actually go into store in London. I won't say which store, but I went into store with my husband and I decided to buy this. And this is the H belt. I think it's known as a Constance belt, but this is the H belt. So I went for the one that was black, and then the other side of it is a tan. And I went for palladium hardware. And the reason that this is the best decision pretty much I ever made was because this allowed me to get this. So let me explain. So yeah, I was always very intimidated about going into Hermes stores. I'd heard all the horror stories of the games you have to play, everything else, and I really, as a lot of us do, I really wanted to start my Hermes journey. I just did, and I never thought somebody like me would be able to do that. No history at Hermes, obviously you have to start somewhere, don't you? And I decided I was going to buy a belt, and I said right from the start, I'm not playing a game. I'm not going to go in and spend thousands and thousands of pounds of things that I don't want. If there are things that I would like, I will buy them, and if that helps me to get a profile, that's fine, but I am not buying for the sake of it. So I decided I was going to go and get a belt, and yeah, it's a long story. I'll try and keep it short. The lady that was helping me to find this belt, it was her first day there, and she was super nervous, trying to help me, didn't know where anything was, really flustered, really panicky, and I kept saying, it's okay, it's fine. And I felt so sorry for her, and one of the other sales associates came over and sort of told her off, because when you go into Hermes, all the belts are hanging on like a little rail where you sort of hook them on, but they are secured onto the actual hook. You can't actually take them off, but you can just see them hanging like so. And I said to her that I really wanted black and a tan, and there was one hanging, and she said, well, you need to tell me what size you need. And I said, I'm really sorry, I don't know, could I try one on? So she was trying to get the belt off the hook, and of course you're not supposed to do that, they're just for display. So she was breaking the seal and making a real mess, and one of the other sales associates came over and said, don't do that, what are you doing? And really told her off, and I felt really sorry for her. And he explained she was supposed to go into the back and bring out it's like a measuring tape, but it's in the form of a belt, so that I could try it on and I knew what size. But she was away for such a long time trying to find this measuring tape that I got chatting to the sales associate that actually told her off, and he was asking me what colours I'd like. And when I mentioned a tan, I said, oh, I'd really love a tan on the back of the black one, because that's my absolute dream colour. And just as I said that, a different sales associate walked past me with a big orange box, and my eye went to it, as it does, and I said to the guy I was chatting to, oh, somebody's going to be lucky. Oh, I wonder if that would ever be me one day. And from that moment of chatting about that to then chatting about my dream colour, my dream combination of a tan with palladium hardware, and it's a long story, I will do a whole video on it. However, I got chatting to him, he told me to come back the next day. I got chatting to the main person, who then became my sales associate, and within 4 weeks I had this, and I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. So the main best decision I made was to not be scared, to talk about, actually, could I make a wish? What is the process? How do I, if I did one day be offered a bag, how does the process work? Is it a possibility for me to put my name down, etc, etc. So the best decision I made was not to be scared, and I didn't go in and ask for one. I just got chatting and asked what the process was, and I got on really well with him. I got on really well with the guy the following day. So yeah, just be yourself, and yeah, that's it. That's the only advice I will give. But I would say that yeah, the decision of, because I nearly didn't bother going to get the belt because I could get it in Manchester, but while we're in London, I just thought, I'll just go in. And it was my husband who encouraged me and just said, well, just ask, you never know. And that conversation led to 4 years later, 7 bags later, and hopefully some more on the way at some point. So yeah, best decision ever. And just 2 more things I want to quickly talk about. the best Chanel purchase, other than the 19, because that was an amazing purchase, but this, I've said this in so many videos, I've used this. This came on a holiday with us to Dubai, and again used it every night. It's just easy. We were on electric scooters, again, who am I, but that's the way to get around in Dubai at the moment, and there's all cycle paths and scooter paths, and it's amazing. So actually using this crossbody, going out for the evening, it was just amazing. So yeah, stylish, beautiful Chanel, gorgeous quality, perfect. I definitely want another one of these in a bright colour, so that's on the wish list at some point. And I think the reason why this is the best, one of the best decisions I've ever made, was I nearly didn't buy this because I felt it was eating into a lot of the money that I was saving up for the classic flap, which is the bag I really wanted. And so many people tell you, don't buy something you don't want just for a piece of luxury, because it's then takes you longer to save up for the thing that you actually want, and you still want that thing. And that is very true, and it is true most of the time. But for me, this was the other way around, where I really wanted one of these. So it wasn't that I didn't. I just knew it'd make my classic flap a little bit further down the line if I did buy this. However, I haven't regretted this for a second. I think it's amazing. So yeah, that was a really good decision. And also the timing of buying this was a really good decision, because I think this was about, I can't remember, was it about £1,200 or £1,400, which felt such a lot of money at the time. And these, I'm pretty sure they're well over 2,000 now, might be even more. So yeah, timing is everything. It really is. The last thing I want to show you is a decision actually my husband made. However, I suppose I made it as in it was something I really wanted, and I really didn't think I would ever. I couldn't justify buying it for myself, and I never in a million years thought my husband would buy this for me. And it is, I'll try and show you it, but I will do some cutaways. And it is this absolutely beautiful cashmere, I'm not showing it very well, am I? This cashmere LV coat. I'll do some cutaways so you can see it properly. But this is I think it's classed as the wrap coat, and it's the short one. And I went down to London and met Emma from Emma Anders and Lorna from Lorna's Style, and we had it was the first time I'd met Lorna, and it was just the most amazing day. And while we were in Harrods, I was just looking at LV, and yeah, I tried this on, and I think if I hadn't been with those two ladies, I probably wouldn't have tried it on. I think it was a bit like, oh, I really like it, but no, I'm not going to try it, because I knew if I tried it, I'd want it, and I knew I wasn't buying it. Anyway, I tried it on, and the feel of it, I was just like, oh. So of course I raved about it when I met back up with my husband, and it was, that's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I was like, I know it is. It's just beautiful. And bless him, he then surprised me with it for Christmas. So I think it was November time that we were in London. So it is about a year ago, which is crazy. And yeah, he then surprised me with it on Christmas morning, and oh my goodness, tears and everything. And it's such a lot of money, but it is one of the best decisions ever. It is. I feel $1 million in it, and I never said this in other videos, I never feel like that. I never feel nice in clothes, and there's something about this that just the feel of it. Anyway, enough gushing, just the best thing ever. So yeah, again, if you are thinking it's far too much money but you really want one, I'm not going to spend somebody's money for them, but I don't think you would regret it. I think you would feel the quality, and yes, it's not worth the price, of course it's not, but it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So anyway, so that is the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on another one.